Finding a quality watch on a budget isn't always easy, but hopefully by the end of this video you'll have one or two options that could work. In this video, I'll be showcasing 3 of the best watches under $500 from WatchDepot.com.au. Check the link in the description for a real price, because there's a good chance these are on sale for much less. The first watch under $500 that I've chosen is the shiny Citizen NH839020L, a 40mm automatic dress watch with a dazzling blue dial. We have a stainless steel case with the bezel being polished and the case mostly brushed. A black leather strap and a stainless steel buckle keeps this on your wrist, but of course you have to break that in before it becomes truly comfortable to wear. Flipping the watch over, we see an exhibition case back, which allows a peek into the 8200 caliber automatic movement. This movement affords 45 hours of power reserve and a day and date complication on the dial. Specs aside, let's talk about that dial, because that is the main attraction in my opinion. I think Citizen makes a great dial, and that's very much evident on this model. That blue is so shiny, and depending on the angle of viewing, can range from a deep navy to a gorgeous baby blue. There are 4 thin lines quartering the dial, which is called a sector dial, and that gives it a slight vintage feel. Above each of the extremely shiny indices lay a small dot of lume, and you can also find some lume added into the hour and minute hands. Those hands are razor sharp and taper to a point, which looks awesome and reminds me of the Seiko Presage hands. This feels like Citizen's version of a Presage, but it does include enough character to be in its own realm. Build quality is great on this piece, and to be honest, this watch has no right being this good at this price point. It's a classic design, it will make a great dress watch, but it's also casual enough to wear around the office or to the bar. It's so wearable and beautiful, and that's why I've picked it as one of the best watches under $500 available on WatchDepot.com.au. Click the link in the description to buy this watch. Moving on to my second pick is the ever popular and mighty useful GShock GA B2100 1A1 Casio. This is the solar Bluetooth iteration, and I've picked the all black version because it looks amazing. If readability is an issue with this midnight themed model, there's a few more colourful options to choose from. The Casio range should be familiar to you by now, but if it's not, the first iteration of these was released back in 2019 and practically sold out day of release. A few years and many new upgrades later, and we've got, at least in my opinion, the pinnacle of the series here in the Bluetooth solar models. A mobile link via Bluetooth connects it to your phone, where you can easily change the time and set reminders and things like that. The movement is solar powered, so we pretty much never have to worry about changing the battery. Just expose it to natural or artificial light and you're good. It's a G-Shock, so that means it's put together with Casio's famous carbon core guard, which means you can throw this thing into any situation and it will outperform even the best watches out there. It's basically indestructible, which I think doesn't get enough praise. To create a piece of technology that is meant to accurately keep time whilst also being tougher than a tank is seriously impressive. But you all know the deal with a G-Shock by now, so that's no surprise. Anyway, you can't go wrong with a Casio. These make for great do-everything watches, and that's why I've included it in the list of the best watches under $500. Of course, a link to buy this watch is in the description. There's a good chance it's on sale too, so make sure to check it out online at watchdepot.com.au. Okay, last but not least, our third watch in the list of best watches under $500, and it's the Seiko 5 SRPD 61K. It should be no surprise that the Seiko 5 is on this list. They are the quintessential automatic watch and are found in pretty much every collector's watch box. This one here is the green on green model, but there are of course other color schemes available if you're not a fan of this one. The 4R36 movement is tried and tested, and it'll afford you 41 hours of power reserve and the iconic day date display found at 3 o'clock. Dimensions on these ones are actually fairly big, with a 42.5mm diameter and a thickness of 13.6mm. Lug to lug measurement is 46mm, so overall it's not a small watch. However, it's still very wearable, and on my 6-inch wrist, it fits just fine. The lugs don't hang over the edge, which is sort of the test to see if a watch is too big. The green dial includes a sunburst appearance radiating from the center, and there's good contrast between the markers and hands and the dial plate. Don't forget there's a ton of Lumibright on this dial, and it's pretty strong too. Overall, a Seiko 5 is going to be a truly faithful watch. They're reliable, they offer a classic diver look, and you can pick one up for less than $500. Probably much less than 500 if you click the link in the description. WatchDepot.com.au has hundreds of watches, and you can always find a good deal. So there you go, 3 of the best watches under $500, and they're all available online at watchdepot.com.au. If you wanted to, you could even make a great 3-watch collection out of these ones. Make sure to click the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.